things that Battlefield 5 should have. We learnt a lot in Battlefield 4, more so than any other title, I think, in the franchise so far. And I think so much was acted on that it would be a massive shame not to see some of those improvements make the jump across into the new title. Of course, we still don't know what it is yet, but I think there are some important things that can be discussed. And sorry about my voice today, I've got a massive head cold, but that's not going to stop me. Number 1, robust netcode and hit detection. This has to be the most important improvement ever made to the Battlefield franchise. At the launch of Battlefield 4, the servers only ran at a 10 Hz tick rate, and that means only 10 updates were sent backwards and forwards between you and the server every second. Now, on console, the level has been pushed to 45 Hz, and on PC, it has the capability to run at 144 Hz. I'd say it's reasonable to want a solid 60 Hz standard tick rate for the launch of Battlefield 5 on the PC, and stick with the 45 Hz for the consoles. The improvements made by Dice LA were massively needed and greatly appreciated by the community, and it helped squash some of the most infuriating aspects of past Battlefield titles, especially when it comes to the gunplay, like players becoming bullet sponges, or getting killed even though on your screen you ducked behind cover or ran round a corner. The improvements made Battlefield 4 a much more enjoyable experience across the board, and I'd wager it helped save the game more so than any other improvement or addition that came out of the community test environment. Launch with the same system that we have in Battlefield 4 right now, and Battlefield 5 will be off to a flying start. Number 2, destruction. One thing that I've realised recently is with the amount of Bad Company 2 that I've been playing for another series called Through the Ages, is that destruction in that game was much more fun, tactical, and useful as well. First, you get to literally blow everything up, which is cool, but you can smash holes in walls to make your own path, or take down a building to stop people using it as a holding point while you try to attack and move past it. The system was much more dynamic in Bad Company 2, and really did make each round very different. Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, I feel, lost that to some aspect, more so in Battlefield 4 because the marketing team got involved and created Levolution, which didn't really impress anybody beyond the first 3 times that you took down the tower in Siege of Shanghai. And I'd argue that the majority of maps were made worse after the Levolution occurred. Let's return to the more unscripted, loose, and dynamic destruction system where the player is left with the choice directly. They can use tactics and communication to carve out their own path, or they can just literally blow stuff up. And that makes everybody happy. Number 3, and this one is a little bit out there, but I'd love to see a proper return to the battle recorder in the franchise, and maybe see that implemented into Battlefield 5, or just the Frostbite engine in general. This not only gives you the chance to play back some games and look at certain aspects of what happened, a little bit like CSGO's Overwatch system, but it's also a great tool for the community. Right now, third-party programs like HattyWatty's cinematic tools are a great way to orchestrate scenarios and capture scenes, but something built into the engine would be much more robust and I think an easier solution overall. The cinematic tools are a live system as well, where you can manipulate the game environment on how you'd like it to look, set up your camera, and off you go. But you have to rely on other people to help you out. If you wanted to create a scene with more than one player or more than one vehicle, you need those people in the server right there and then. And of course, it's a third-party tool, so it's essentially an exploit, which on ranked servers is really not something you can use. With a battle recorder, you could capture loads of different perspectives from around and then piece them together afterwards and create something unique and different. It sounds weird that you'd want a recorder that doesn't actually do anything in terms of gameplay, but as we know, Battlefield has an amazing creative community, and everyone loves to share their cool moments. So if you had a tool that was built into the game where you could replay those things and capture them in a cinematic way, make them look even better, and then share them with your friends, I definitely want to see that in Battlefield 5. Number 4, maps built specifically for certain game modes. Now, if we look at Battlefield 4 right now, tell me one map that works so perfectly in your mind that you'd play it every single time. I don't think you can. Each map is designed to accommodate multiple game modes, and of course different modes require different environments to work best. And what you end up with in this scenario is a mediocre map overall that sort of works okay on most modes and doesn't work at all on others. There's no standout mode that one map is specifically going to work on when you're trying to accommodate for maybe 5 or 6 different game modes. Operation Locker on Conquest Large is a great example. It turns the map into a choke point simulator. Or if you play Silk Road on Rush, the map is so clearly designed for Conquest or bigger game modes that Rush is almost unplayable due to the severe lack of cover that's given to the attacking team when you're in the desert. To this day, when you attack on that map, I have never got past the first set of objectives. Bring back the scenario that we last saw in Bad Company 2, where modes were only integrated into maps that actually worked for them. Bad Company 2 offered amazing rush locations alongside some very good conquest maps as well. You could pick a server knowing you'd never be playing around where the map itself ruined the whole mode that you were playing. That scenario needs to be in Battlefield 5. And number 5, a focus on the player and their experience alone. Allow the player to create their own identity and experience within the game. This is something new for Battlefield, but it's something in the gaming community that's very, very big right now. People want to show off themselves in the game. They want their character or their profile to be unique. So Battlefield 5, I think, needs to have that. Past titles have been very structured and restrictive of allowing a player to make themselves very unique or very appealing. Visceral recently gave hardline players the option to customize their look and feel on the battlefield, and that was with the gun bench. You can create your own custom camos alongside the standard offerings that are built by the developers. You can create your own outfits with different colors and different styles. Even add wear and tear to the gun as well, making it truly unique and different to everyone else's. Get that stuff and put it in Battlefield 5. If gaming over the last few years has taught us anything, it's that players really, really do love to show themselves off inside a game. Let Battlefield 5 be that game and make it go a step further. Give them the full editor that's available in Hardline, but put it in Battlefield 5. So, those are 5 things that I think Battlefield 5 should have. Let me know down in the comments today whether you agree with me, whether you've got any of your own points as well. It'd be really good to have a good conversation about this. It's probably going to cause a bit of a split opinion, but that's what the comment section is for. And while you're down there, drop me a like as well. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.